When I was growing up, there was a burger stand. It was in a rough part of town. And they had delicious burgers and homemade fried donuts and a line around the corner. And those donuts, if you had a really, really nice tip, would come with a side of Columbia nose candy. But officer, I just ordered a burger and a donut. I don't know why that guy thought my $30 tip was for some booger sugar. Well, it seems that that's really the United States Department of Interior philosophy on how to build Donald Trump's triumphal arch. And as you know, Donald Trump has decided that what Washington, D.C. really needs as the country teeters on the edge of a recession, while gas is approximately $48 a gallon, while Medicare and Medicaid are getting gutted, what we need is a 250-foot arch across the Potomac on National Park Service land next to Arlington National Cemetery, sitting right where Donald Trump could see it from his bedroom window. And the Washington Post got their hands on some very interesting emails. And it turns out that the National Park Service acting director, Jessica Boren, wrote to the White House asking, hey, you think maybe we could tack the arch project onto an existing contract? You know, one that's probably out there for engineering services at the White House? By the way, the White House is on the other side of the river, over a mile away from where the arch is supposed to sit. She literally puts this in writing and says, yeah, this is a totally different place, but if we extended that existing contract, it would align with the administration's timeline. And by the way, what is the timeline here? President Kankles wants this arch standing by July, the country's 250th birthday. So the answer to getting a new construction permit and funding for it and all that is finding out the fastest way to dodge all of the federal contracting laws and environmental reviews. Yeah, that's right. The idea behind all of this was simply so that they could bypass the federal bidding process, the environmental review, and an FAA flight risk investigation, which, by the way, the FAA is looking into this arch because it might be a flight risk. Any structure over 200 feet needs to get it investigated because it might mess with air traffic. It gets a review. And the airspace where it sits, by the way, was pretty much the same site of a fatal plane crash last year. So the calculus inside the White House is, well, do we wait 9 months on the federal regulator that exists just to do this, to make sure the planes go up and don't fly into giant pieces of marble? Or do we just slap it on another construction order for a new sidewalk or something and ram it through? I'll give you 3 guesses as to which one of those two that the White House picked. Just in 15 months, by the way, I want you to look back at all of the damage he's done. 15 months. Demolished the east wing of the White House, hauled it away, bricks gone, to build this 90,000 square foot ballroom. $200 million, $400 million, not your money. Now taxpayers are paying for it, and now they're asking for $1 billion more. Oh, and they painted the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool blue. It's over budget. It's going to be a mess at the Lincoln Memorial. Blue. Donald Trump paved over the Rose Garden. He's gilded the Oval Office in cheap gold crap. You got that stupid walk of shame with the tacky portraits. And then he took over the public golf course at East Potomac Park, dumping toxic waste there. He shuttered the Kennedy Center for over 2 years. That way, Comb-Over Caligula can be the head guy of the Kennedy Center. And every single one of these, every single one, has been hit with a lawsuit. And by the way, this arch, when you use the word triumphal, that is a monument that celebrates when you won a war. The Romans built one for Titus when he sacked Jerusalem. Napoleon built one after he won a war. They are monuments to real accomplishments. What's Donald Trump's triumph? The Iran war, which is still going on and by all accounts we're losing? The tariffs that he keeps chickening out of every other week? The Truth Social stock that lost $400 million in a quarter? How he's losing Congress? Oh, what about his foreign policy? He could celebrate that. You know, the one where we're losing all of our former allies and they're sitting there pointing at us and laughing? What exactly are we winning, and what exactly are we celebrating? Because look, Donald Trump is just a weak, sad, decaying old man who has to build a giant monument to himself like a pacifier so that he can keep from getting too upset that everyone hates him. And he's going to be putting that thing up. And somewhere in America, an actual veteran is going to be on a Greyhound bus driving past this arch on his way to a VA hearing where they're probably going to cut his disability. And he's going to look out the window and quietly wonder where the country he fought for went.